Okay, guys, listen, this is going to be just a quick video. Just let me show you what's up. This is very odd. The Lord just led me to this just right now. I literally heard in my spirit do a video on it right now. Today I'm doing the part 2 tip of the spear. Watch this. You see this guy, Adam Schiff? Everybody knows Adam Schiff is the slimiest of the slimy of the swamp creatures. He's trying to stop the memo from coming out because he's trying to hide the truth. That's what children of the devil do. They conceal the truth. They hide the truth. They're liars. They'll do whatever it takes not for the truth to come out. So Adam Schiff is sending out these tweets about the FISA memo and trying to trash Devin Nunes, who's trying to get it out. And the FBI itself is trying to stop the memo from being released. Let me show you something about where John F. Kennedy was killed. I told you Donald Trump's the tip of the spear. Let me show you something. Let me show you a spear tip. This is the route that John F. Kennedy was on when he was shot right here. Let's see, where was he killed in front of? The FBI, CIA, DIA, Secret Service, Federal Court building right here. Old Courthouse, Dallas Police Department, Dalcourt's Old Court Snipers, Texas School Book Depository, where allegedly he was shot from. So he came down Main Street and they took a right and the car went this way, and then they had to slow down 15 mile an hour, then stopped in kill zone where he was shot. But look what street John F. Kennedy was on when he was killed right here. And by the way, this is a spear. This is the tip of a spear right here. John F. Kennedy was shot. So they had a crosshairs on Kennedy, and he was on Elm Street, and he was murdered because he was going to expose their secret societies. If you've never heard John F. Kennedy's speech, he says the whole idea of secret societies is repugnant and is against what, we stand for. And so, anyway, so when John F. Kennedy came down in the motorcade, he went this way and turned on Elm Street. Let me show you what Elm Street means. Elm is the goddess tree. Okay, so elm is it's called the goddess tree magic. Because of its rich foliage and sap, the elm is sacred to Saturn, Roman god of agriculture. It foretells that it represents fertility. So it's called the mother goddess tree, and it represents fertility. Oh, you mean like the Virgin being a big vagina in the Catholic Church, and when you turn it upside down, it's a dead sheep? So John Kennedy was shot on Mother Goddess Street. There it is. Look, I'll just go back. It's called the Goddess Tree right there. It's called the Goddess Tree Elm, the Goddess Tree. And it relates to the elm trees were associated with the underworld. I wonder what the odds of that are. That John F. Kennedy was shot on Elm Street, like Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, because everybody's walking around in a deep sleep and you really are in a nightmare. And that's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dead by daylight. Interesting. So John Kennedy, again, was on a route that makes a perfect spear tip, and they shot him on Elm Street right across from the FBI, CIA, DIA, Secret Service, Federal Courts. While Adam, I'm a slime creature and a liar Schiff, is trying to stop the release of the memo. And let's look at what the FBI is saying, and let's read between the lines by Matt Zapotosky. Okay, now watch this. The FBI thrusts its low key directly squarely into the public eye and potentially into the crosshairs of the president Wednesday. Crosshairs of the president. Wow. When it issued a statement declaring the Bureau had grave concerns. They're threatening Donald Trump, people. Let's go read the memo itself, okay? With a non yet public GOP memo that questions the basis to surveil a former Trump campaign advisor. Okay, so you can go read about, this, but let's get down to the memo itself. Let's see. Here it is. With regard to House Intelligence Committee memorandum, the FBI was provided limited opportunity. So they're looking for an opportunity, it looks like, to do the same thing. Don't forget, Trump is the tip of the spear, and Kennedy was on, this is a spear tip, and they killed Kennedy on Elm Street, which means Mother Goddess, and there you go. And here's the FBI saying they were provided limited opportunity. They need more opportunity for what? To get him in the crosshairs. Huh, that's interesting. Let's see. They had a limited opportunity to review this memo the day before the committee voted to release it. That's insane. They hid all the information for a year. The statement said, as expressed during our initial review, we have grave concerns about material omissions of fact that fundamentally impact. Okay, listen, folks, I'm sorry. I'm doing a quick revision on the impact of the train thing. Someone pointed out, look, that's the rear engine, and I looked at the scene and it still doesn't make any sense, even if it was the rear engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time forensically on the train thing, and again, there's a bunch of superfluous information about the speed, about a 70-year-old lady in 1999 that got out of her car during a point when a train was stuck on the track. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to go through all that data and I'm going to look at all of it and I'll recompile it and I'll load the train thing back up. The point of this video that I wanted to make before I just decided to jump into the train thing was this. Right now we have Donald Trump who's getting ready to rat out the FBI and the intelligence communities. The last guy that was going to rat out the FBI and the intelligence communities that was a president, his name was John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Let me show you something about the name John Fitzgerald Kennedy. It's just all absolutely impossible. Just sit tight. Okay. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Let me show you what the name Fitzgerald means. Don't forget, he was killed. There you go. Fitzgerald, a boy's name of Old French, Old German origin, and the meaning of Fitzgerald is son of the spear ruler. Let's get back to, I'll get back to that train thing when I have some time to go through all the forensics, and I'll get through every different angle of that train. It totally doesn't pass the smell test. Not at all. Let's look at this. So John Fitzgerald Kennedy, His name means son of the spear ruler. Well, that's what Fitzgerald means. You're looking right at it. And John Fitzgerald, son of the spear ruler, was murdered on a route that was in the shape of a spear tip. Son of the spear ruler. So that's just Satan loose. Apparently, John Fitzgerald Kennedy wasn't converted. I believe they were Catholic. I believe him and his family are Catholic. And so he would be a son of the spear ruler. And here's the route he came on. If I drew a green line over here and over here, it would make a perfect spear tip. And, you know, there's all the speculation of how many people shot him in the head. It's just without getting into all that. But here's a perfect spear, and the guy that was shot on the tip of the spear, his name was John, son of the spear ruler Kennedy, and he was shot on Elm Street, which means Mother Goddess Tree. I mean, you know, you couldn't even, no one could even think this up. This is not even thinkable up. No one could even, no one could even dream this up. He was shot on Elm Street. Elm Street means Mother Goddess. I showed you that's who our enemy is. It's a spirit that's running all of humanity, running the host body system, turning angels into food, because the human host body is what kills sheep. I mean, they look at everybody as cattle. You're just a sheep to be led to the slaughter. And then John Fitzgerald, son of the spear ruler, was killed on Mother Goddess Street. There it is. I mean, that's just impossible. And it just so happens that the place where the train wreck took place was in a place called Crozet, or Crozet, however you spell it. And if you turn this upside down, you turn the flag of Crozet upside down, it makes those two intersecting V's I was telling you about, and it makes a spear tip. There's just no way. I mean, there's just absolutely no way. Okay, and when I was reading the FBI memo, the last word you heard was impact. I don't have that page up anymore. And oddly enough, the train made a sudden impact with a garbage truck that happened to be on the tracks. I'll go back through my history, and I'll show you that they're giving us a bunch of superfluous information about a woman that was 70 years old that got out of her car in 1999. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me ask you if this is important to this train wreck. So that's all the damage the train sustained. It's 70, they said it was going 70 miles an hour, but now it says, according to the report, three freight trains passed through the intersection during the day and 2 at night. 3 during the day and 2 at night, that's 5. On the report, let's see, on average, the report says passenger trains don't go through very often, on the average of less than 1 per day. The maximum speed for trains crossing the intersection is 60 miles per hour. One accident filed by the CSX Transportation in 1999. If you turn that upside down, it's 666. Why would we need to, look, no. Why would we need to know about one report that was filed in 1999? Why? Why would that be part of the narrative at all? I mean, at all. Why would anyone need to know about that? One accident report filed by CSX Transportation in 1999, because it makes 666 upside down, said a train hit a vehicle that was stuck between the rails at the crossing. No injuries were reported, but there was damage to the train's engine and the vehicle, which was driven by a 70-year-old woman who got out of the car before it hit the train. Do you just find that to be the most superfluous information? I'm sorry. I'm going to go back and forensically tear this thing down. This is a joke. This is not, none of it's right. None of it's right. So the reason I took that other part down was because someone said that's the back of the train, and very well that makes sense, and the train would have continued on its path. But again, looking at the accident and looking at the location, the train's going this way, and if this is the back engine, I'm sure the number 4 is going to be important. And to say that this is the sustained damage to the entire thing going, they said it was going 70 miles an hour. And the last picture I showed you of the engine, I'm still not buying the forensic data. No way. So that's what happened to the engine from hitting basically a semi dump truck at 70 miles an hour. I'm going to do my forensic homework on this. Okay, I'll get back to the train thing later. Here's the thing that I was told to show you though. Trump, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, he was murdered on a spear tip. His name meant son of the spear ruler. Donald Trump is the tip of the spear, and that's the video I need to get to today. It's going to be an hour and a half long video, chocked full of absolutely irrefutable material. I'm sorry I got off on a little bit of a tangent with all this train stuff, but it doesn't pass a smell test. There's no way that it happened in a place called Crozet, which makes a spear tip, and when you turn it upside down, it's got the two intersecting V's, and that the group was cannibalized. They were killed and cannibalized, when everything I'm showing you is about cannibalization of the Spirit of God within the host body system, which is what kills the sheep. So, okay, I'll work on the tip of the spear video part 2, and then I'll leave all these train things alone until I get some time where I'm done with the tip of this. I'm sorry, done with the tip of the spear part 2. All right.